I'm late. 3 minutes late. Sorry, folks. Let's open the curtains up. Let the neighbours see us all. Please, ho caller. Oh, I'm here. Oh, ha. I was ready. In my defence, I was ready earlier, but I was freezing cold. So I got changed into like this huge, ridiculous hoodie that I can't do anything in. Oh my God, like a minute in and we're 1500. Okay, I'm good. How are you? Besides freezing. Why? Why has it suddenly gone freezing cold? What's that about? Oh, that yellow light is the one that makes my forehead just go ping. Anyway, the setup is suffering. Jim, you'll appreciate this. Jim cut through with scissors the downstairs Wi-Fi cable. Why would you do that, he asks. I don't know. Safe to say Max isn't happy. Oh, DE sent out an email this morning about mixing being the new layering. Okay. Come to Cali, it's warm. Mate, if I could get into your country, I would. Trust me. How are you? Okay. Yes, snow. Why is it snowing? It's unacceptable. It's May. Oh, it's attractive. Right, so have we all accepted that basically we'll be white and covered in hair by the time July comes round? Because I have. Play Nickelback. Oh, he's upstairs. The new people into the Freaks group are going today. It's all happening today. So you'll be able to... Oh, don't look behind me. Kit's on the way. Marvellous. I haven't put box dye. Oh, I couldn't. Did he cut it to stop me playing Nickelback? No. He didn't, bless his heart. He just keeps going, why are you doing this? He's literally just like, why are you doing this? Bless him. Well, bless you saying I still look good. If I tell you that there's my usual hair colour, but it's now like, do you know what? I don't even think my hair's grey. It's like my hair's like a dark grey with the odd bit of white. If it was just going white, that would be different. Oh yeah, topic. Sorry. Jesus H. Right. Layering product is the topic. Ta-da. I'm just going to pin that, if it lets me. No, pin comment. Yay. Okay. I'm not embracing my inner badger. No, I'm sorry. I appreciate all your lovely comments. Like, I'll go back to having gels because it's just better for my nails. I'm not going to go back to lashes for a while, I don't think. I'm kind of used to them. But the hair, the very second my hairdresser opens, I may well sleep outside. I'm just letting you know. So thank you for the compliments, but no, it's going. Okay, let's do layering. The reason I wanted to do layering is, I'll be very brief so we can just go through questions. I've seen loads of questions about it online, and I was talking to Andy Millwood, who is a very good friend of mine, also super, super high-tech esthetician. Just that kind of extra layer of knowledge, you know? And Andy has like a good memory, whereas my memory since menopause has gone to shit. So people will ask me about ingredients and I'll go, what was it again? And I'll have it on top of my tongue and then I'll literally say something like, oh yeah, vitamin C. So Andy and I were talking, and there's a lot of chat. There's this like movement online which is great, which is the derms getting much higher profiles, which is great, which is what we need, right? And the cosmetic scientists are getting much higher profiles, which is also great because we love the science. But they kind of, don't even look. They kind of seem to be buddying up together and forgetting that everyone in the middle, i.e. all of my crew, are the ones who spend hours and hours touching product and playing with product and putting it on people's faces. And it's kind of, there's this like, we just thought we'd hit back with a little bit of science and a little bit of knowledge. Do you know what I mean? So, hola from Spain. So let's do layering. Now, the reason... Wouldn't mind seeing your badger, Caroline. Do you know what, Franny? Yeah. You need to keep your mouth out of my knickers. I meant your mind out of... Oh, my God. Could I have said a worse Freudian slip than that? Could I have said something worse than that? Literally. I apologise. I apologise to Franny, what was her name? Franny Goldsmith. I don't want your mouth anywhere near my knickers. Well, now we're off to a good start. Let's settle in, shall we? Oh my God, I think I've actually made myself blush. To be fair, it could be menopause. Okay, layering product. The reason, yeah, I can see you all laughing now because we're on delay. Thank you. Thank you, yes, I know. Keep your mouth away from my knickers. I mean, why would you do that? Why don't you dye your hair yourself? Because Jesus made hairdressers and they are professionals. That's why. Hello, Taiwan. I've been to Taiwan. One of the best meals I ever had in my life was in Taiwan. There you go. It was amazing. I loved it. Okay, Malvina, don't be sitting there laughing at me. You know what I'm like with a Freudian slip. It's not good. I know. Stop laughing. It's not funny. You did arrive at the right time. Yes, I'm going to save it. Worry you not. And January, all my mates pile in and then just laugh. Only in front of 3,000 people. No biggie. I've done worse. I did once say on stage at a Body Shop conference, internal conference, to 1,500 people. And at the time, they were owned by L'Oreal. So it was all the big wigs from L'Oreal. And I did say... I don't know what's wrong with you people who only use wipes. Let me just try and adjust this and move it down a bit. Hang on. Well, hey, and I said, using wipes and not washing your face properly is like wiping your bum and never washing it. Along that line, and I could see these faces at the back go. That's why I don't do corporate. So, yeah, so after Boris bumbling, now you've got me bumbling and telling people to keep their mouth away from my knickers. Really, that's not the need. Okay, is vitamin C still effective if you wash your face with a milk cleanser beforehand? 100,000%. Why wouldn't it be? That's not an aggressive why wouldn't it be. I mean, have you heard something to say the alternate to that? Because no, it's fine. Hello from Ireland. I love the Irish. I mean, I love all of you. Have I ever used any beauty pie products? Kim Olney, there is 4,000 approximately, maybe slightly fewer, blog posts on the blog about beauty pie, and there is an entire video dedicated to beauty pie. But it is, I mean, it needs updating, but most of their big brands, big ranges that they already have are in that video. So go and have a look at that. Oh, my days, I'm just howling. Yeah, I know, mate. You don't have to do the green sicky face to me. I feel bad that I said that. Shame my brother isn't watching. He would literally call me and go, ugh. Do you think it's essential to have so many products, or is 2 to 3 okay? Well, it depends what you mean by products. If you mean 2 to 3, and that includes cleanser, moisturizer, SPF, then you're fine. If you're my age, cleanser, moisturizer, SPF wouldn't be enough. So go by age, okay? Okay, Nick. I'm going to answer Nick because he's always here and he's very polite. I've been using Tret and want to start a little bit of mild exfoliation again. Would an acid cleanser or toner be okay AM with vitamin C? Yes. Probably, it depends on your skin, Nick. I don't know how it is these days, but probably acid cleanser is probably better for you in the morning. And then you could probably just leave it. Because if you do a toner, if you do an acid toner and then a vitamin C, depending on what acid toner it is, you might get an issue. But you wouldn't get an issue with them competing. You would get an issue of irritation. So it depends on the product, but I know you know your stuff. So there. You said Murad make my favourite moisturising creams. My favourite Murad moisturiser is this one. Hydrodynamic. What is that song? Oh, it's Pointer Sisters. I cannot speak today, people. What is wrong with me? I need to press stop and go again. Automatic. Look what you're doing to me. I'm not really at your whim. All of my defenses down. Hydrodynamic, not automatic. And actually, I can show you if I can open it. Look, there you go. It's pretty much empty. Sorry about the lighting, guys, but you get, oh, there you go. Look, it's empty. Look, see? No complaints today. It is what it is. That's why I need to get a bidet installed. I've just tried the full Dr. Sturm line out of curiosity. I would love your perspective. You might, but they wouldn't. Does mist come after cleaning and before serum? Yes. So you cleanse. Then you're going to do an acid. If you're going to use an acid, you don't have to. Then you're going to mist and then serum. No, you don't have to mist. Of course you don't. You can obviously just wash your face and whack on an SPF. if you want to do the bare minimum. However, you will see a better benefit to your skin if you make a bit more effort. That's all I'm saying. No judgment, just saying P50 with tretinoin. No, I have made my face bleed testing that. I thought, I'm just going to test because everyone says you can't do this with this. And it was in the early days. Don't judge. We all live and learn. And I did it. And it was this cheekbone. Neighbours. And I got a faint line here of blood. So the answer is very definitely no. Do not use P50 with prescription retinoids. I'm just going to hide that because it's really irritating me. Of all the things that's wrong with my hair, why do I focus on that? Anyway, what do I think of Glossier cleanser? I like the Glossier cleanser. I like a lot of Glossier. I'm sorry. I know they get poo-pooed on by snobby people. I don't think there's any room for snobbery in skincare. Don't get me wrong. I'm snobby myself about certain things like supermarkets that rip off brands and have no original ideas of their own. But Glossier gets sort of almost dismissed because it has a younger demographic. I love a bit of Glossier. Putting that out there. I also want to do Menopause this week. I have feelings, people. And some of them are not medicated. Can you use acid then vitamin C? Yes, you can. And of course, it depends on, it depends on what acid and what vitamin C. So Andy put a post up yesterday, which if he is on here, I will get him to link it. Otherwise, I'll link it myself in the comments afterwards. Andy did a very good Instagram post that was basically saying, it's all good and well saying, here is how much you need to use of every product, and here is what products you can and cannot mix, and here is what you should never use together. But the fact is, everything is dependent on the formula and your skin. So you can take a rough guide and you can take, you can take a sort of a pinch of salt from the rules, that you see online. But if your skin feels better doing X and Y instead of X and Z, then do X and Y. Ignore me, ignore a derm, ignore a cosmetic scientist. If your skin feels and looks better doing what you are doing, keep doing what you are doing. That's all I'm saying. Okay, it's on the blog. Is salicylic as effective in a serum or better in a cleanser? Salicylic is, well, if you're using it for spots, it's better as a standalone ingredient. So as a spot dabber. Why is my nose so red? Oh, it's because I've had my glasses on all day, look. Very Miss Moneypenny. You want to see my glasses? Let's digress, shall we? What I love is when people who fall across this video on YouTube, they're like, why is she talking so much? No one cares about her glasses. Actually, I think you'll find they do. Look! But apparently they've been rubbing my nose. There we go. You've been putting Sunday Riley Good Jeans on every other evening after Luna, and then moisturising after that. Is that right? Also, should I be leaving some time in between? Yeah. See, that's a classic example. You would normally say an exfoliant goes on before an oil. But in this case, the oil is either Luna or UFO from Sunday Riley. Both oils. One's a vitamin A and one is more a clarifying oil. And Sunday Riley themselves say you put the oil on first and you put Good Jeans after, because oil can also be a carrier. So all of this stuff online where it's just thinnest to thickest and oil is always last, I never use oil last. I always put a moisturiser on top because it feels better on my skin. I also see derms saying, I don't know why anyone needs a moisturiser. I just use a cleanser and an SPF. Yeah, well, your face probably isn't 50. You may have acne issues. There is not one size fits all, Not everyone can be a white carb. There we are. Calm down. Glow tonic and vitamin C in the same routine. Yes, you're fine. What should you put on your face first? Vitamin C or hyaluronic? Vitamin C goes first. If you want to use a hyaluronic, so if I'm doing my normal morning routine-ish, normal-ish, I play between putting this first, which is just the hyaluronic serum, or I'll use my Oskia first. That looks good in this light, doesn't it? And then put this on top with a little bit of moisturiser on top. Again, formula is queen. My group told me off for saying formula is king. Can you layer vitamin C, hyaluronic acid and ceramide? Yes, as long as your ceramide serum is water-based, which it would be, but you need the water in the ceramide serum to work with the hyaluronic acid. So you would put your vitamin C on first, then your hyaluronic acid, and then your ceramide serum. So it depends what it is. But for example, you could use an ordinary vitamin C, as in the brand, not an ordinary one, and hyaluronic acid with a Dr. Jart ceramide cream on top. That would be fine, if that makes sense. Order to apply oils and moisturisers. Well, I kind of touched on that. Depends on Are you going to put makeup on? Are you going to bed? Are you going out to work? What are you doing with your day? Because you also need to make your skincare fit in with what you're doing, you know? So oils and moisturizer, for me, it's vitamin C, serum-ish, depending on what I'm doing, oil, moisturizer, but that's if I need it, and depending on what else I'm doing. I wouldn't put 4 or 5 things on if I was just going to put makeup on and go out for the evening. But let's face it, that's not going to be happening for months. So you may as well make good use of all your oils and your vitamin C's and your tretinoins and your vitamin A's and get your skin perky. Okay. What stage in the routine for a facial tanning serum or mist? After you've done your actives, so you've cleansed, you've done your eye cream and your vitamin C, then I would do my tanning, whatever, and then I would do a moisturizer. Unless your particular tanning product says use after moisturizer. Again, check the label, you know, it depends. Are wait times necessary for acids and vitamin C? Not really. I mean, I hesitate to say no, absolutely not, or absolutely yes, because again, it's a grey area. It depends what acid and it depends what vitamin C. If you're using, I mean, I wouldn't suggest this, I'm just saying if you're using a P50 and a really strong vitamin C powder, that's going to be active on your skin. Now, I wouldn't suggest that for a newcomer. I would suggest that for someone who has pigmentation, who knows what they're doing, who's a bit older, and whose skin can take it, because that's intense. So go easy. What's the best moisturizer to layer with differin using for acne but skin is sore and tight? Anything water-based that's just light. So the Murad one is fine. The hydrodynamic, the Dr. Gross stress repair. These are all things, you can tell what my face has been like, haven't it? These are fine. Kate Somerville Delicate is amazing. Zellens, I mean, to be honest, you just need it doesn't have to be that expensive. By all means, you can use, if you're using differin and you want to keep it, I'm just getting back to the question where I was at. If you're using differin and you want to keep it in that price range and family and you're in Boots, you can use a CeraVe moisturizer that still has ceramides in it. So you just need to have something that will keep your barrier protected. But you don't go heavy because you're using the differin because you have spots. Okay. Can acids such as tranexamic for hyperpigmentation that can cause vitiligo? See, that again, it depends. Now, fortunately, that's not in a lot of product. So again, I would go by the formula. I wouldn't use it as a single ingredient. Do you see what I mean? It's difficult. This is why I never take any notice when people say you absolutely have to do this and this, because it just doesn't work. The Freaks group is opening up today. There's like 4,000 or 5,000 people waiting to get in, so they're doing it in stages so that we don't get bombarded by bots, because we know there'll be bots there. Okay. Oil-based vitamin C or water-based hyaluronic acid first? Good question. Now, I tend to do my oil-based vitamin C first, which is the Oskia, and then I put the hyaluronic acid Tan Luxe Serum on, and then I put a moisturizer on. So make of that what you will. I do that because I want the vitamin C going on my skin at the point of contact is more important to me than the tan. I know I shouldn't say that. I am from Liverpool. But I want the vitamin C first. So, but again, you might have a different vitamin C, you know. Can you overdo peptides, like 2 to 3 different kinds, some with or without copper? Not really, not so much overdo, but you might find if the formulas are in, for example, different base ingredients, that you don't get the slip or you don't get that kind of thing. You know, you don't get good adhesion to the skin. You might find you get a bit of pilling. So I just threw this sweatshirt over my head and my face is covered in fluff. Does the glycolic in the Pixie toner mean you can't use any other acids? No, the glycolic in Glow Tonic is 5%. It's very mild and it's alcohol free, so you're generally good. What are your thoughts on Environ? They're recommended by a lot of therapists. Environ are a great brand. It's a South African brand. They've been at the forefront with vitamin A. Yeah, they're a good salon brand, clinical brand. I prefer clinical. Salon makes me think of hair, doesn't it to you? Where were we? Well, that's not bad going. 2,500 of you straight back on. Thanks, guys. Oh, this is what I mean. Why don't people, my own family, they're in the house. Why are you calling me? If I say I'm going online now, what does that mean? It means I'm going on Instagram. Nutters. Let's just tell people what I'm doing again. Because we were swinging there for a bit. Layering. Pin comment. Okay. Blackheads. You need salicylic acid. You also need to not obsess about them. If they are proper big juicy blackheads, they will come out when you extract. Is probably a better word. As I might demo on Max one day, because his nose is beautiful. So salicylic acid, but also don't overdo it, because when you strip it back, I will save the lives, don't worry. When you strip them back, you get such a dry skin that when you do pop, you just destroy the area around it. So go easy on the blackheads. You were very silly with your one blackhead. Yes, I'm sure. What's your shade in the Kevin O'Quan foundation? Random question, but I can answer it because I think it's here. It's not here. Oh, it's here. Sorry. I'm not wearing any, by the way. It's my skin, not foundation, but I think I'm going to be a bit darker than this now. I am medium EF07. Medium EF07. Are the nose strips bad for you? Yes, they are. They're hideous. Are there any products you should stop using when you're using retinol? Not really. No, you're good with most things. Just where you use it and how closely to it. Do I use any other products when using Dermatica? Yeah, I just use my vitamin A at night, and then I pile on whatever moisturiser I'm going to use to soften the blow. What would you recommend for a 13-year-old? Depends. If you mean a 13-year-old with spots, a light cleanser, and I'm going to move my chair back, hang on. A light cleanser and some maybe Sam Pharma moisturiser or a CeraVe moisturiser. You don't have to go crazy. They're 13, you know. So where to put retinol in an oil base in a routine? Same place, straight after you cleanse, straight in with your retinol and then your moisturiser or whatever on top. Don't forget your eye cream. Okay. Been on Roaccutane before and didn't have many side effects. Currently using Pixie Retinol, but just bought Medicate 3TR. Should I use a moisturiser afterwards? Depends on, Sophie, it depends on your skin and how your skin feels. Medicate is a spectacular brand, but they're good retinoids. It's not a retinol, it's a retinoid. And you might find that you feel a bit drier. So yeah, by all means, if you need to, put a moisturiser on afterwards. 7 Skins method. At the risk of being shot by fans of that method, there's only so much you can put on your skin before it just doesn't absorb. So if you have the time and it makes you feel good and it's relaxing, knock yourself out. But layering 7 things on your skin, eventually it's the placebo effect and it feels nice. So if you want to do it, knock yourself out. Pixie Glow Tonic as well as hyaluronic acid, is that okay? Yes, that's fine. I'd have to travel to Bristol for that foundation. You can get it online. Kevin O'Qua's online. Can I layer Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair with retinol or vitamin C? Good question. Yes, I would put them first and put the ANR on afterwards. The retinol would go on first, or the vitamin C would go on first, and then put your ANR on afterwards. ANR has a nice bit of squalane in it, so it's quite good actually to use on top of a retinoid. Retinol is leaving my skin a little dry and crepey. Can I layer some? Can you layer some hyaluronic over it? You can, but you would have to put a moisturiser on top or it would make you more dehydrated. So you're better off maybe just putting it straight into a moisturiser. There you go. Why are the nose strips bad? Because they tear your face off. That's why they're bad. Best AHA product you recommend? Oh, there's too many, it depends. I mean, the Dennis Gross pads are wicked, but bear in mind only the gentle ones are glycolic free. All of the rest have glycolic in, so it depends what you're after. What can I use while I'm using Soolantra? I love a bit of Soolantra, actually. I've still got some. By the way, don't get excited. That's a prescription cream, and I shouldn't be saying that. It's like, I love it when my skin needs it, is what I should really be saying. You can use whatever you want to use on top of it. Depends why you were given the Soolantra. Make sense? Thoughts on Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whip Moisturiser? Very nice. Can you do P50 then vitamin C? Well, You can, if it's a nice sort of oil-based vitamin C, 100%. I mean, I could easily stick the Oskia or the Sunday Riley CEO Glow on top of P50. It would give a beautiful glow. You wouldn't, I don't know if you'd really want to do a P50 and then a super strong vitamin C liquid, or even worse, a vitamin C powder. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but on top of P50, it's just, it gets too much. You know, you can do too much. It's good skincare is like looking after an orchid. A bit too far either way and you've got issues you have to deal with. You want to keep it maintained and pay attention to it. Look at me not doing a food analogy for a change. Is Medicate liquid peptide okay to use after Tret as would like an anti-aging product? Yes, unless they say there's a reason why not. I wouldn't see any reason why not. If the Tret is making you dry, you might prefer to use the liquid peptide in the morning and use some kind of a buffer or a moisturizer on top. But in essence, yes. Is vitamin C necessary when using tretinoin? Yes, vitamin C does something altogether different. It's like saying, do I need to wear a bra when I'm wearing hairspray? I mean, it's not exactly the same, but you would assume that at some point I need both. Vitamin C is antioxidant and helps to support the structure of the skin, and tretinoin sort of takes your skin to the gym and puts it in a workout. So they do similar things in terms of making your collagen wake up and pay attention, but vitamin C for things like glow and I nearly said radiation protection, antioxidant, my God, as a protective antioxidant is still really lovely. CEO Glow Oil, worth it and wear in routine. Straight after you've cleansed. Smug shark. What would you recommend for pregnancy, redness, inflammation on chin? It depends if it's just hormonal zits or if it's just hormonal and you've gone red. Either or. But you can use anything in your arsenal, basically. I mean, the Zellen's vitamin D is hard to beat in terms of taking down redness. And that comes in a spray or in oil. I know that Marco, as in Dr. Lenz, they've had stock issues online because they got rammed by you lot after the offers went up. And obviously everyone is suffering in terms of manufacturing, especially because he's also, some of his labs I think are in Italy. I think, that doesn't even make sense. I think are in Italy and they've been on shutdown. So I think he's had some stock issues, but he does make a 10 ml of the vitamin D. So I would try that first because honestly, in terms of, you know, people say it's so expensive. Well, it is, but then you put it on your face and it fixes it. So you could buy something that's cheaper that does nothing. That's more of a waste of money to me. Just putting that out there. Zellerman's vitamin D before or after hydroluron? Well, that is a good question because hydroluron is a very specific gel texture. Technically, I would do vitamin D first. This is a classic example where on paper, a cosmetic scientist would say, well, the hydroluron should go on first and the oil should clearly go afterwards. But I promise you, if you do that, it will pill. So I would be very careful and I would try and use them at alternate times just because I know those formulas. Hydroluron is amazing under moisturizer. So is vitamin D. Together, you might get pilling. Frazzled your face with Tret. What can you do? You need moisturizer. You need a barrier repair. You need... I've had them all out in the last few weeks. This again, the dermatological barrier repair. Is that going to work? There you go. Oh, look at me being a YouTuber. There. You see it? It's literally called barrier repair. That is like pure... Let me just show you. It almost disappears on the skin. It gives you like a... You're not even going to be able to see it. It just, look, it just goes. There's nothing. I mean, it's gone. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and make sure my sound is still okay. Oh my God, there are thousands of questions. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it does help to do this. Yeah, see, agree with Power D, worth every penny. There you go. What to avoid and what to use on rosacea. If you have rosacea, like we just said, try the Power D. It is amazing. I would avoid really strong actives like Tret, unless your doctor prescribed it or your derm prescribed it in a different scenario, obviously. I would avoid powder vitamin C's because they tend to be really strong. I would obviously avoid physical scrubs on rosacea. Yeah, that's kind of it. Difference between emollient and occlusives. Oh, I like that question, Beauty Wellness. Emollient is, I'll do you a food analogy. Emollient is mayonnaise in a sandwich, okay? Keeps it oiled, keeps it hydrated, moisturized, depends on which word you want to use, and this is a whole marketing spiel question out at the moment. Occlusive is when you wrap your sandwich in cling film. There you go. I know you're all here for the food analogies. I know you are. Would you still use a serum when using Sunday Riley CEO Glow, or do you not need both? Depends on your skin, depends on your age, depends on your routine, depends on whether you're going to put makeup on afterwards. CEO Glow is predominantly a vitamin C oil. You could, by all means, if you wanted to use a ceramide, either or, you could use something anti-aging. Not that vitamin C isn't, but you see what I mean. But no, you don't need both. I mean, vitamin C, oil-based vitamin Cs, to my mind, are particularly good as a one-stop shop. If you think, oh man, I just want to do something and I want my skin to wake up, you could do worse than CEO Glow by Sunday Riley or the Oskia Vitamin C, because you put them on and your skin goes, and you get the vitamin C benefit from it. Okay, right. Do La Roche-Posay now do a prescription strength retinol? No, La Roche-Posay do nothing prescription strength. It's all over the counter. Over 40, started Trek. Do I need to use a peptide cream before or after? I would use it after, personally. Pigmentation. Skin is great, except 2 massive age spots. Anything out there that would help? Yeah, you need things like, I mean, over-the-counter stuff is milder. If you live in the UK, Linda Walker, and you can get onto Dermatological, they will give you a cream with hydroquinone in, which works. Like my one has it in. I don't know if you're able to see it, though, because it is so tiny, the writing. Look, see if that is any help to you. Can you see it says tretinoin 0.1% hydroquinone. There. That's probably the best that you can buy in terms of fixing. Serums for a 20-year-old with a very dry skin. Well, it depends on why their skin is dry. Is it dry because of the atmosphere, or is it dry because of their genes? Things like squalane oil is just a nice, simple, just to give them a bit of moisture. Because the main thing you want to do if you have very dry skin is to make sure your barrier repair is taken care of, that your barrier is intact. So I would look at things like just nice, basic, glycerin-based moisturizers. I mean, they're 20, you know, they don't need a circus on their face. Best face wash moisturizer combo for a 23-year-old male with dermatitis or just prescription? Well, depends on if you've been to the doctor with your dermatitis, they should have given you something to wash your face, I would hope. So it depends. I would go very, very gentle. Moisturizer in terms of over-the-counter, you're looking at, again, like barrier repair by Dermatological, depends on your budget. Delicate, CeraVe, but CeraVe can sting sometimes. The pH in that is a bit, I don't know who I am to be talking about something's pH when my hair looks like that, but let's just move on. So yeah, it depends on, if you know it's dermatitis, then you've been to the doctor. If you find you're still dry and you need a bit more, then I would add a very simple moisturizer on top. And by that, I do not mean the brand Simple. I just mean basic, something that's just called a hydrating moisturizer or a nourishing moisturizer, as the words keep getting mixed up. Don't go all guns blazing. You're 23, babe. Where would you use niacinamide before or after vitamin C? You use retinol at night. Okay, so it depends on the formulas of the niacinamide and the vitamin C. In this case, if you have 2 liquids, I would probably do the vitamin C first. But again, I might change my mind if you're standing in front of me and you've got like a really lovely runny niacinamide serum and a slightly thicker vitamin C. There's no big golden rule. This is how we all started before I got rudely interrupted and all my volume went. There are no hard, fast rules. It depends entirely on the person. It depends on your routine. It depends on the product. So is the Oskia vitamin C a strong vitamin C? Yes, and it has, I can't remember it all now because it's been a long week. It has an oil-soluble different vitamin C that is, I can't remember, it's on their website, supposedly stronger than, I think, 20% ascorbic, but I could be completely wrong. I'm Please don't quote me, just in case I am, but I know that they have clinicals on where their vitamin C sits. I find it a fantastic vitamin C. Autocorrect or C Tango, depends what you want. C Tango is more hydrating, autocorrect is more for puffiness and dullness and makes your eyes pop. Glow. Pop. I really need to work on my language skills. Okay. Is it true that vitamin A thins the skin over time and can age the skin? No. But what is true is that there is a certain amount of life cycles that your skin can go through, which is why unless you have a problematic skin, i.e. acne, I wouldn't say there's a need to be on a prescription strength retinoid too young. You know, if you're my age, don't worry about it. The ship has sailed. The ship has left the dockyard. It's on its way to sinking like the Titanic. You need to get everything on your face while you can. So don't hold back. If, however, you are 20, 23, 25, 27, 29, and you're fairly healthy and your skin is good, you can absolutely hold off going on tretinoin. But I would also bear in mind that when those studies are done, they're talking about prescription strength retinoid. They're not talking about over-the-counter. Over-the-counter is not strong enough to warrant you worrying about cell turnover. Do you see what I mean? That's why it's always worth reading between the lines. Can you do Zelens D after Dermatica? 100%. Zelens D is perfect after Dermatica. It's almost like giving your skin a cashmere blanket and saying sorry. Skincare for post-nasal surgery, aka not being able to get your face wet. Oh, you'd have to follow your doctor's advice, because if you can't wash, I remember when I had my eyes done, I ended up putting the cleanser on a damp flannel, not water, just damp, as in not wet, just very damp, and went around and then as far up to it as I could, and then gently went sort of back, and then I think I just put oils and moisturizer on my face forever. But yeah, if you've had nasal surgery, you need to see what the doctors say, because I don't know the scope of how big the surgery was. Do you see what I mean? So, I've seen some questions, just to make sure I get through them all. I'm very sorry. We've done hyperpigmentation, vitamin C and D. Which one would you use, AM and PM? Well, you can use either at both times. It depends on what the formula is and what you want to do. What do you think of brands, Drunk Elephant, saying to use their new hair care range on your face? It's the Boris Johnson of mixed messaging, isn't it? I don't know. Do it if you want to. But surely, if you could do that, and that's 25 quid or something, it's like a third of the price of their other stuff. So why wouldn't you just do that? I don't know, I haven't used it. Should oil be applied before or after moisturizer? Again, we covered this before. It depends entirely on how you like the feel of it. I prefer a moisturizer on top, personally. It just feels better. I feel like it sits on my skin better. I've just realised how huge this sweatshirt is. I look a bit like wearing a tent, but that's fine. Layering, copper peptides and retinol. How do you layer Neod? Is it okay to use in the same PM routine as retinol? Now, I remember speaking about this with Brandon. I'm sure he said you would use the peptides first and leave it a good 20 minutes and then put the retinoid on and do that for 20 minutes. Now, at the time, I'm not entirely sure they even had a retinol out at the time. So I don't know if that advice would still stand. You'd have to sort of try and see. But I'm pretty sure it was peptides first, from memory. That was a while ago. How do you know if you've damaged your skin barrier? If you've damaged your skin barrier, your skin will feel irritated. It might be red. It might be flaky. It might be sore. Those are generally damaged. But of course, you can have a damaged skin barrier and have acne. So what you are looking at is things that are calming and soothing. That's kind of where you're going. If you put things on your skin and your skin stings, then you will know that you might want to beef up your skin barrier. Your sister is a doctor and her hands are looking very old. What can you get her? Just a really good hand cream and a good oil. And if you can get A nail oil, great. If you can't find one, you can use a face oil. Sometimes the cheaper face oils are cheaper than a nail oil. She needs to put the cream in her hands, drop the oil into it, do this and get it all over the hands, and multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. There are thousands of questions. With the best will in the world, I couldn't answer all of these. So I'm just going to go over things that we haven't already talked about. Dry skin saviors. Dry skin saviors are oils. So any good facial oil, a good barrier cream, like a good moisturizer. It doesn't necessarily have to be thick. It just needs to be, you can feel it in the texture. It just needs to be enough, you know. But yeah, dry skin for me is oil. Number one would just be like, just get an oil on my face, please. Do the gua sha stones. Okay, the stones. With questions about the stones and the rollers. If you enjoy using them, knock yourself out. You know, there are people that I respect in the industry who use them and they love them and they use them on clients and stuff. I just don't have, it just doesn't feel that good to me when I use it. If I'm rubbing a stone on my face, I get better connection and more heat generated using my hands. But, you know, if you love doing it and you're chilled out doing it, go for it. You are layering cleanser, glycolic acid, pads. Oh, hang on, it jumped. Facial mist, squalane, moisturizer, future and SPF. Is there anything you would add? Okay, hang on. Glycolic acid, pads, facial mist, squalane. Eye cream, depends how old you are though. I wouldn't say everyone needs it, but if you are my age, I would maybe consider it. Thoughts on biologique research serums are that they're very good and they stink. I mean, like you've never smelt anything before. Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts on the one product does all brands like August and Espada? I think they are expensive and overrated. Sorry. Does oil cleanser make vitamin C ineffective? Dr. Shireen said this in a live. No. And Dr. Shireen is also very good at pointing out that she talks to a very specific audience, and especially in the States and in New York. Because when I did my live with her, we were talking on FaceTime for at least another half an hour, 40 minutes afterwards, just nagging. So hang on a minute. I'm just going to come back to stop. Is Pixie Glow Tonic okay to be used every day? I keep seeing various influencers say it's bad. Yes, it is. And I want names of those influencers. Are they an influencer or are they a skin qualified expert? Just drop me a line because they're full of shit. It's 5% glycolic in a non-alcohol base, in an aloe vera gentle base. Like, it's fine. You could use it twice a day. You don't have to, but you could. So yeah, Dr. Shireen, I love her. Like and then we spoke about things and she would say, what about this? And I'd go, yeah, but you see, if you say that, then you have to bear in mind this. And she would go, no, you're right. Well, what about this? And I would go, well, yeah, that's true. So there was a lot of mutual banter, good banter. Oh my God. In kit 1, where would you miss? You missed after the Dennis Gross, but you don't have to because the Dennis Gross pads have part 2, remember? So technically, please hold, caller. There's like 4,000 products in there. Oh no, I gave them to Ava. I just remembered I gave them to her. Bollocks. Sorry, hang on. Oh. No, the mask. Never mind. The Dennis Gross pads have part 1 and part 2. So you can, part 2 is technically your missed, okay? But I still missed. I cannot help myself. Look, when you have products like these, and it's just the same two I've been using, because once they're out, I keep them out for ages. Josh, and by the way, this is almost done. I've got to order another one. So if you've made Cult Beauty sell out, I won't be happy. Oh, man. I mean, I'm just putting it out there that this is a sexual product, okay? And then this is my face is really killing me. Ow, ow, ow product. Oh, God, don't drink it, though. It tastes... Ugh. Oh, my God. So many. Oh, my God, so many questions. Okay. Pixie Glow Tonic makes you red and irritated. Can you recommend it? Yeah, drop glycolic. It might be that your skin just doesn't like glycolic. So I would look for more of a lactic acid or you don't really need a salicylic. Look for something lactic that's quite mild. Start there. Could you use... My brother, you're right, sis. I did throw up in my mouth. Please don't refer to mouth and your knickers again. No respect. I get no respect. Could you use DDG pads after P50 PIGM, or is that too much? It's too much. Like, do you want your face to fall off? Cult did sell out the other day of Dr. Jart. You swines. I'm not going to tell you anymore what I like, because when I go to order it, I can't get it. And I do order, by the way. I had to panic this morning, because look how much of this is left. Look at that. It's one thing to be grey and nailless and lashless. It's quite another to be pale. By the way, don't come at me with pale is beautiful. I'm talking about me. I'm allowed to talk about me and not cast any judgment on how you prefer yourself to look. Just putting that out there. Okay, when to use facial oil instead of moisturizer? It depends. He is a little brother. Thank you. It must be a little brother. He is my little brother. Thank you for infantilizing him. I like that. Ha ha, have that, Christopher. It depends on what you like. I sometimes do, oh, it's on ASOS. Don't tell people that. DM me. I layer. So if my skin is dry, I'm just going to get rid of these baby bits because they're really winding me up. If my skin is dry, I will cleanse. I will do a little bit of moisturizer and then a little bit of oil and then a little bit more of moisturizer. But when I say little, I mean a little. I don't mean my face feels like a wet, greasy mess. That's not what you want. Okay, could you get a tan? Could you get tan? Sandra Allen, you can have whatever you want, my darling. You still buy skincare even if you have thousands at home. I am like a proper consumer. It's like you should see me when I go to New York and I hit Sephora. I am a proper consumer. Okay, what eye cream could you recommend for dry, flaky eyelids and brow bone after using hydrocortisone to treat dermatitis? Okay, you need something slightly thicker and gloopier. You don't want anything too watery because that will tend to be hyaluronic acid based. I would be tempted, it's not what they sell it for, but I would be tempted to use the dermatological barrier repair on eye eczema because it's a barrier repair. So, I mean, you can, look, I'll show you. I'll just show you. This is why I don't wear makeup, because then I can just demo everything, can't I? Look. It'll disappear in seconds. You're not going to be able to see. I'm going to do it. You won't be able to see anything. But it feels very smooth. Yeah, I would try that purely because you wouldn't have to use it all the time. You could keep this as your barrier repair. My God, help me enunciate. You can keep this as your sort of literally, oh, my eyes are starting to sting or my lips are starting to sting. I need something. And this again is here so you can see it. Barrier repair. Excuse me while I do my YouTube hand. Because it's as close as to over-the-counter, as over-the-counter gets to prescription in terms of the silicone texture that you need. And sometimes we do need that texture. So I got the new Tata Harper moisturizer sent to me this week, and 9 out of 10 in terms of everything I love about product that she has. It's great, it's fantastic, and I'll bring it up. I'm going to have a day for newness as well because I've had tons of stuff turn up. So I'm going to do newness and menopause. But on the packaging it says such and such, unlike where the skin is breathable because we don't use silicone. Silicone does not stop your skin from breathing. We need to get past this and stop repeating the same nonsense. Just putting that out there. Thoughts on Peter Thomas Roth, Peptide 21 versus the ordinary buffet. My instinct would be to say the PTR, but that's just my instinct. Best dupe for Chanel Sublimage, the rich, thick formula. So, okay, right, Sublimage is rich and thick. What about skin food? I mean, talk about the other end of the cycle. But Sublimage Chanel, if you're talking about the really thick one, is really thick. But skin food is also really thick, but it's like 10, 12 quid. If you're in Canada, it'll probably be like 25 Canadian dollars, I think, top of my head. Is it a waste to use multiple serums during a routine like La Mer serum or BE hydro oils on top? No, it's not a waste. But again, just make sure you're using them logically and for the right reasons. Do you see what I mean? Don't just use something just because someone like me said to. Use it if I said to, because I said you had a skin condition that you recognize in yourself. Does that make sense? When I say does that make sense, just to clarify for new people, I'm not saying do you understand it. I'm saying, am I making sense? It's not insulting to you. It's checking myself. Okay. Like I say, there's going to be... I will share Andy's post. I already have, actually. I shared Andy's post yesterday or the day before, so it should be in my stories. If it's not, he's at Andy Millward. But I will find it again. Just went over menopause in nursing school. Honestly, men have it so easy, mate. Honestly. Hang on. Image Skincare, MD, or Ageless. Which is the strongest retinol? Oh, that's in one of my videos. I want to say it's the MD. I could be wrong, but you need to check my video where I talk about Image, which was last summer. I think it's MD because I think MD is their stronger line. I think it's MD. Now I'm really testing myself. What products to avoid mixing together unless they are formulated to be mixed? Nothing really. I mean, you wouldn't do... yes, you can use vitamin C, AM and PM. Maybe I'll just do a roundup of what you can use AM and PM in a minute. But you wouldn't necessarily mix at the same time a vitamin C, an acid, a niacinamide and a retin-A, and then do that. That would be utterly pointless, okay? You're much better off thinking, okay, it's morning, the sun's out, I want a bit of a glow, and putting... It's MD. Thank you, skin nerd. Thank you, Jen. Thank God. See, there is something about talking to 3,000 people where you doubt yourself, to the point where one of my kids could walk in and I'll go, all right, Max, or maybe that one's Dan. It's like that. It's weird, right? Thank you, Jen, for your clarification. The MD is the stronger retinoid. But yeah, there's no need to mix all of those things together unless you're doing them at different times. So for example, I would say in general, try and stick to 2 actives at a max together, as in vitamin C in the morning what did I do this morning? I did cleanse, I did the tan lux, I did vitamin C, and I did peptide K. Then I put a bit of moisturizer on again about half an hour later, because this lockdown skin, my face, my body is so dry. And then in the evening, retinoid. Depends on the strength of the retinoid. If you're using an oil-based retinol, you could easily throw on a nice anti-aging serum a little bit afterwards. So just don't go to town. You know, it's what I would prefer it is if brands explained, were as confident telling you what not to use, what not to mix, as they are in telling you what's not in their product. It would be much more helpful to the consumer if X product, I don't even have anything I can show, because let's just use my mirror. Let's not show any brand. I don't want people to think I'm talking about any brand. Instead of saying contains no parabens, contains no phthalates, contains no whatever, it would be much better if they said, this is what this is what it's for, you can mix this with anything, but to be honest, I wouldn't mix it with this because it wouldn't have that good an effect. Like, wouldn't that be more helpful? I think it would be more helpful. Beginner retinols, you need to go to the blog. There are 7 videos about retinols, and I started on beginners. Okay? Yes, burning and itching isn't a sign of working. Burning and itching is a sign of maybe you shouldn't have that on your face. Do I put moisturizer after or before Sunday Riley Luna? Because it's an oil. I would put oil on first and put a moisturizer on top, because it is also... I'm doing it again where I start talking like that, because it is also a vitamin A, so you want it on your face first. Is there an eye cream for firming up hooded eyes, and if so, when do you apply? No, there isn't. There are some that temporarily tighten, make the skin feel like it's tightened, but depending on how bad your hooded eyes are, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh yeah, this eye cream's amazing. You can get some that sort of give the appearance of being a bit tighter, but ultimately you want surgery. I'm not saying you want it or you need it. Personally, I don't know who you are. I've never seen your eyes, but you may need surgery, and obviously it depends on your age, you know. Do you use a mist before or after a moisturizer? Both. Especially in this weather, I use mist all day long. I mean, not quite, but you get my drift. Also, I remembered seeing in, I think it was Red magazine, I don't know where the communication went amiss. What's that? Oh, my other mist, look. Nice bit of Allies of Skin. I don't know where my communication went amiss, but then when I was talking about the La Roche-Posay, it says full of hyaluronic acid, and it's not, it's full of glycerin. So that was a mistake. Sorry, I needed a drink. Okay, I think we've got a bit longer because it all died, didn't it? Skincare whilst on Roaccutane. You will need to speak to your doctor and keep it to what they recommend. The only complaint I see is that most of this advice is covered in the book. Yes. The only complaint I see is that it is super, super drying, and you're going to need things like a really good thick lip balm. Psychoplast from La Roche-Posay is a good one, and you're going to have it to the point where, let me demo, where is it? Hang on, please hold caller. Oh. Okay, handbag time. Okay, so when you've got, so again, it's the Tilbury lip oil, which I'm completely obsessed with. You go on, but when you've got Roaccutane, you're going to find you go around like that. You see? You're going to need it all over. And now I feel like I've got too much and I don't want to waste the bloody thing. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Right. Yes, most of that is covered in here. Out at the end of June. What do I say about kits for sale on eBay? What can I say? I would say that some people's situations change after they order kits. So, you know, what can you do? You're not going to be able to stop it. You know, everything ends up on eBay. We did absolutely everything we could do this end not to sell it to known eBay third-party addresses. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? Oh, Josh Rosebrook in the States, he has his own website and he will tell you where else you can get it if you want to go somewhere else. But absolutely. Josh is based in California, so you can get his products all over the USA. That's some good lip oil. Psoriasis on scalp due to autoimmune disease, 60-year-old man. GP just says moisturise, not enough. Yeah, see, GPs, and don't start. I just mean some, and I just mean some just think. It's not that they don't know, it's just that they don't quite take it seriously enough, and that's with teenagers with acne and older people with psoriasis. If he has an autoimmune disease and it is psoriasis, you don't want anything that stimulates, because psoriasis is already stimulated. That's the problem. So if you put, unless it's come from a derm, if you put I don't know, like a tret on it, for example, just for example, or an EGF, you don't want those cells to replicate quicker. That's the problem that psoriasis has. It already does that too quickly. Not knowing your dad and not knowing what his disease is and not being a doc, I would be comfortable saying Zellen's vitamin D, because that's literally what he made it for. Yeah, Zellen's vitamin D. Weirdly, skin food, but without the fragrance, because the psoriasis can sometimes be cracked and skin food can be a little, just a little, on the wrong skin, a little irritating. Very rarely, but just putting it out there. I'm trying to keep everybody happy. Do I put Tan Luxe on and foundation after? Well, yeah, but I haven't worn foundation in like 2-3 months. But yeah, normally. Right, what have you missed? Well, we're about finished, babe. So I think tomorrow you want to get in earlier. Lactic acid from The Ordinary, your thoughts? It's fine. It's a lactic. Yeah, they all get saved. Don't worry. If I'm using Tret in the PM, should I avoid P50 in the AM and the AM after? Yeah. Depends how often you're using the Tret. If you're using the Tret every night, then I would just shelve the P50. When I'm using vitamin A, I don't put Tret anywhere near my face. I mean, I don't put P50 anywhere near my face, my God. But P50 for me is like once, twice a week these days, because I'm better off with the Tret, especially while I'm not out that much and I can afford to have time to be peely. So yeah, goodness, that's a lot of questions. I have no idea where we went from. It's supposed to be layering. We did pretty much stick to layering, didn't we? I do like that cream. Vitamin C for a sensitive skin. Yeah, the oil-based ones again. So the Sunday Riley or the Oskia, I would start there. Okay. Tan Lux last after moisturizer. No, Tan Lux goes before your moisturizer. Yeah, I'll put it straight up afterwards, I promise. Okay, let's just have a look. I think we're pretty much done on the layering now. I think we're good. What is considered an active? An active is something that is designed to not just hydrate your skin. It's designed to help support it or change something in it. So a vitamin A is an active, a vitamin C is an active, hydroquinone is an active, a peptide is an active. I mean, pretty much anything except the basic moisturizers is an active. That helps. Had a teenage interruption. Well, yes, I did have a teenage interruption. Beauty Pie, vitamin C and E capsules, any good? Yes. Is separate SPF and moisturizer better? Yes. Alpha H liquid gold AM, Tret PM. Not really. Alpha H would say no to that. Opinions on Charlotte Tilbury new skincare products. Well, weirdly, I love the lip oil, and they sent me a preview of something that's not out until, I think it's June. And I think it might become her bestseller. Just saying. Haven't played with it properly. I'm going to get them all out over the next few days. But one of them is like, you know, when you try something, you go, oh, I messaged PR and I said, that's going to be one of your best sellers, which I tend to do because that generally tells them that I'm going to go, you need to buy this. And then they all have a panic attack because I haven't told them. But I like to do that. Beauty Pie retinol, okay to use when pregnant. They'll say no. Nearly everyone I know would say yes, but they will say no. Just want to make sure we have the legals covered. Do I think hydroquinone is effective? Hydroquinone is definitely effective, to the point where it's capped at 4% in the EU, and because it was used in high strengths to try and bleach the skin, which is not something we want to do. How do I know? How do you know that? How do I know what? I need context. I know a lot of things, but I also know that I don't know a lot of things, so I can't answer your question. Okay, let's do some roundups of things we haven't done relentlessly. Oh my goodness, so many, sorry. Kiehl's versus Aurelia serums, very different. Kiehl's is L'Oreal owned, so they get the drip down effect of the L'Oreal testing. Aurelia is not, and is more focused on probiotics or prebiotics. Why can't I remember? Oh my word, maybe I just need caffeine. I haven't had caffeine in ages, people. I only have caffeine if I literally have a can of Coke. I haven't had proper caffeinated tea for ages. Is Zellen's vitamin C good? Yes. Dr. Sam Bunting skincare, yes. Loved the moisturizer and the SPF. Didn't get on with the cleanser. But yes, in general. And Dr. Sam's nighttime product, which is the mixture of all four, great product. Have you tried Allies of Skin? Yes, I love Allies of Skin. In fact, I think they're all in my empties video. Oh, here's a question for you. Oh, here they are, look. That's one of my newer ones. Question. I have a huge, and I mean probably the biggest empties I've ever done. I think what I'm going to do is do it for Instagram, for YouTube, but film it here on my vlogging camera like I did with the kits. Go through it, but instead of just doing a bog standard, oh, this is empty, I'll do a empties and a how-to. So when I hold up something, for example, this isn't empty, but if I go, oh, this is da-da-da, it's empty because, and tell you how I used it and who it was for, I think I might do that to make it a bit more interesting, but it will easily be an hour long, minimum. So I'm going to have to do it on YouTube because they don't cap the time. And then I can come back on here and go, by the way, I've done a blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there we go. 6:10. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you for watching. Let's touch on menopausal skin tomorrow. It doesn't have to be like the only thing we talk about, but I just feel like if I don't start talking about it, it's never going to happen. And the last time I spoke about menopausal skin, which I will talk about tomorrow, was on Joe Wiley's radio show. And because I gave my opinion, wait now, and I've listened back to it, so I know this is a fact. Everything had the caveat before of, you need to speak to your doctor, you need to speak to your GP, you need to speak to your hormone doctor, whatever you can afford to do, right? Everything had that as a caveat. But because I was speaking on my experience as a perimenopausal and menopausal woman and hormones and what didn't work for me and what I did to fix it, the grief I got afterwards from other women who were menopausal and should know better, almost like trying to completely negate my own experience. You know, when you're like, hang on a minute, what? Even Anthea Turner piped up on Twitter. Oh, those aren't regulated, you should speak to Liz Earle. I'm sorry. Apparently, my face is just, that doesn't matter. Liz has all the answers. So let's do menopausal. It'll always be 5 o'clock, live at 5. Let's do menopausal / perimenopausal / hormones tomorrow. And then at some point this week, I have to film the empties video. But it's going to be really long. So just warning you now. Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, just the cheek of it. It was almost like, oh yeah, you don't know, like we're the experts. Right, but I have the equipment and my equipment wants to go on holiday. So I'd like to talk about what that did to my experience with perimenopause and menopause. Is that okay with you, Anthea? I will see you tomorrow, guys, at 5. Just don't insert yourself, Anthea. You know, don't be rude. There's no need. I don't think she quite knew that I probably would have come back and gone, yeah, come on then, Turner, tell me about your fanny. Have a lovely evening. Let's end it there. I will see you tomorrow night. Bye.